He tasks me. He tasks me, and I shall have him. I'll chase him round the moons of Nibia, round the Antares maelstrom, and round perdition's flame before I give him up. Okay, so the guy really knew what he was doing, but every list of Star Trek villains has the same number one. Not to take anything away from Khan, Noonien Singh, but come on, real schoolers, let's challenge ourselves. With Into Darkness making it an even dozen Star Trek films, let's take a look at the top 5 Star Trek villains who aren't Khan! Yeah, that guy. On this, the Real School Countdown. Number 5, Admiral Marcus. New Kid makes the list already. Starfleet has had their share of admirals gone rogue. I mean, who could forget this guy? Everyone? But to create a character who you believe is smart enough to collaborate with Khan and tough enough to stand up to Kirk, you need an actor like Peter Weller. Don't forget, that's Peter Weller, PhD, and that quiet intellect really comes through in this role. Of course, it doesn't hurt when you back up that intellect with the intimidating gravitas that only Weller's voice has. As good as Benedict Cumberbatch was, Weller was just as good. Number 4, the Borg. There's little debate that Star Trek First Contact was the best Next Generation film, and it has a lot to do with the two very well-balanced storylines. One half of the story is a race against time to get warp drive invented so that First Contact can be made. And the other half is basically a zombie flick in space. Now you're talking. The Borg were already one of the coolest and most intimidating antagonists created for Next Generation, and in First Contact, they upped their game even more. This is the first time that we saw that even if the Borg touch you, they assimilate you. That's pretty badass. On top of that, you had Alice Krige as the seductive and very un-Borg Borg Queen. What's great about this choice is if you think about it, the Borg Queen is the only female predominant antagonist to star in a Star Trek film. Number 3, Nero. Can we stop the hate that this guy gets? I really don't understand why Eric Bana is made fun of for his role as Pro Nero. This is by far my favorite role that Bana has ever done. Nero has gone through so much, and it makes him even more a full-fledged, filled-out character. He lost his wife and unborn child, he lost his planet, and in the deleted scenes, it even shows him surviving a Klingon gulag. So yes, while his performance may be a little over the top, let's not forget, he killed Kirk's father, the entire Vulcan planet, and like thousands of other people. He is an extremely well-developed character whose vengeance you basically see as justified. Not to mention the character design for Nero and the Romulans was amazing. Feathered bird of prey outfits, black eyes, tattoos, and a chunk of his ear missing? That's villain 101. Number 2, Sauron. Cue the iconic Malcolm McDowell, who once again plays a villain who's lost everything and is ruthless in getting what he wants. What's really great about having Sauron as a Next Generation villain is you truly believe that he and Captain Picard are equals, intellectually and physically. Plus, you get the amazing bonus of having Malcolm McDowell and Patrick Stewart act against one another. And as far as villains go, this guy is directly or indirectly responsible for torturing Geordi, crashing the Enterprise, destroying an entire solar system, and killing Captain Kirk. Not a bad day's work. Number 1, General Chang. No, not him. Yes, him. If there's anything better than a Klingon villain, it has to be a Shakespeare-spouting Klingon villain. And if there's anything better than a Shakespeare-spouting Klingon villain, it's a legendary Canadian actor playing a Shakespeare-spouting Klingon villain. Aside from the unforgettable Wrath of Khan, The Undiscovered Country is by far the most in-depth Star Trek film starring the original cast. Part of that is the underlying metaphor, comparing the fall of the Klingon Empire to the end of the Communist Cold War. As Spock says, only Nixon can go to China. But it's the commanding stage presence and Shakespearean grandiose that makes Chang unforgettable, and definitely makes him the most intelligent and crafty Klingon ever put to the screen. I was fortunate enough to see Plummer play Prospero in Stratford's production of The Tempest last year, and let me tell you, his hold over the audience is palpable. Funny thing is, Plummer and Shatner knew each other for years before Star Trek, and Shatner was Plummer's understudy for Henry V at Stratford. But it tells you something about the caliber of actors used for these villainous roles. Agree or disagree with the list? Leave your picks for top 5 in the comments section below. But until then, first star to the left. and straight on till morn. Or school's out or whatever.